All right, guys, good morning. Here we are about 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, and my son and I are taking a trip to Southeast Oregon. So we're going from Southern Oregon to Southeast Oregon. It's about 75 miles or so, should be about an hour and a half of driving, all highway. So good speeds. Temperature is 65 degrees this morning, and I just wanted to see how the car does. I expect that we can make it round trip without any charging, so about 3 hours of driving. I charged the car up last night to approximately 90%, and as you can see, it's estimating that we go 260 miles, but that estimate is pretty much based on local driving, so we should get less than that, but still should be able to make it round trip. I'm gonna go ahead and clear that right now. I've also read that where we're headed has some level 2 chargers there, so we'll check those out too. So just want to see how this goes, since I don't really commute far at all, so it'll be nice to see what it would be like if we had, an hour commute one way or something like that. So we'll catch you at certain parts of the trip, and definitely at the end once we get there. There's a river there. Okay, so we made it to OIT. We are on the campus. Took us pretty much an hour and 30 minutes on the dot. And I'll just show you some of the info here. So as you can see, 74.4 miles driven, 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, which is okay. But the big thing to notice is 135 miles remaining. When we started, it said 260 to start. We obviously did not drive well over 100 miles, only 74.4, but the first estimate was, based on my previous driving style, and now it's based on this 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. So it adjusted, tells me how much I have left, so I would be very comfortable getting back home without a charge. So basically, round trip driving with no charge, 3 hours of driving. Over here we can see, technique helped, but the terrain was the biggest drop this time, and there was a lot of elevation changes. Outside temperature also didn't help, and then climate control, which we really didn't use except to defrost the windows, and I have my heated seats on and my steering wheel. So yeah, not a whole lot of impact there. Terrain being the biggest one. I would feel very comfortable doing this round trip with this temperature, probably not so much in the winter. But as you can see, the campus does have some slow chargers here, so we're gonna check those out. Okay, well, that was super simple. I already had a ChargePoint app on my phone with the login and everything set up and ready to use Apple Pay. And all I did was tap my phone here. It recognized my account, said plug in to get started. I plugged in and it started right away. So we're just gonna leave it plugged in while we're here. We'll look at the price next. It's charging slow, but it is 7 shows. Where is it? Yeah, there it is, 7 kilowatts, which is perfectly fine. And this is why I think level 2 charging is probably more important, or at least as important as DC fast charging, because you get to your destination and you're going to be there for a while. So it's nice to have all these chargers around. All right, we will be back soon. Okay, here we are back at the charge station, about to leave. Charged for an hour and 34 minutes, 35 minutes. Cost $1.58. Charging at 7.1 kilowatts. So probably added over 30 miles. The ChargePoint app was good. It showed, you know, when I went in there, it showed still charging and things like that. Let's see, price, energy rate, $1 an hour. So they charge just by the hour here. Okay, not by actual energy used. Okay, so yeah, this was real simple and easy to use. Okay, real quick, before we jump on the road, you can see now that my middle estimate for miles is 184, which I believe when we stopped here it was 140. All right, here we are, made it home. As you can see, 148.7 miles of driving, 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour, which really isn't bad, especially since speed limit was 55. We were probably going over that a lot of the time. Of course, you know, off of the highway, once we got back here and when we were on the campus there, it was slower, but speed considered, that's pretty good. As you can see, it's estimating 145 miles left. So even if you take off the 30 to 40 miles I got from the level 2 charger, would have had plenty of range to go there and back without a charge in between. So 3 hours of driving, 150 miles approximately, and wouldn't have needed to charge. That's pretty good, you know, and after 3 hours, if you were driving straight, probably want to take a little break anyways, plug into a fast charger. As you can see, when we were leaving the campus there, it showed just over 180 miles of range, and now it's showing 145. Well, we didn't just drive 40 miles, we drove 75 miles. And so, you know, that's really because, you know, what goes up must come down. And on the way back, there were stretches of the highway where we're going 60 miles and it's all regenerative. Because we're just coming downhill, you know, at that point. So yeah, regenerative braking, one pedal driving is really great. The 148.7 and then the 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour is duplicated right here as well, because this is since the last full charge. We didn't really use climate settings hardly at all. When we were out in Klamath, it was a good 20 degrees cooler than here, so in the 40s. But let me go to impacts and you'll see that. So yeah, outside temperature was the biggest negative factor when we were driving around on the highway. Everything else pretty much leveled out as far as terrain, outside climate, and then of course technique. So this car, basically what it's made to do, it does well. I would have been very comfortable going there and back without a charge. And if that was my commute, 150-mile commute every day, which would be awful, but I would be very comfortable doing that here. And then the best thing is I get home and I don't go to a gas station, I just charge right at home. But I do think an important thing for infrastructure is those level 2 chargers. You know, anywhere you can, on campuses, at hospitals, grocery stores, just shopping areas in general, malls, even though, you know, who goes to the mall anymore? But because you're going to be spending a couple hours at these places, you know, movie theaters, you can get back some of your range just by plugging in for a few hours, you know, 40 miles or more. And so I think level 2 charging is really important to have everywhere. They were doing $1 per hour. I'm sure other places are more expensive. So yeah, overall, really good experience at 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour. Very, very happy with that. It's typically around town, I'm getting 4.9 to 5.1, you know, at just normal, you know, city speeds. So being at above 50 miles per hour and still getting this is pretty good. Now, of course, you know, Klamath Falls was 40 degrees, so most of the trip was in the 40s and 50s. So it is going to get colder here, and that will affect the range more. But for now, this has been really great. So yeah, thanks for watching. Tune in for more, and we'll catch you later.